Car Obsession is proudly supported by Exchange My Car, Carly and Draggy. For a limited time only, use Car Obsession 10 to get money off with Carly, and there's also a discount code for Draggy as well, which again is Car Obsession 10. All of the details are in the video description below. Hello guys, welcome back to Car Obsession and welcome to another walk around. This time I'm delighted to say I'm joined by the brand new Audi RS3 Sportback. As always, I will take you around the car, talk you through the specification and give you my first impressions. So yes, haha, here we go. The brand new Audi RS3. I've been waiting ages to get my hands on this car, but you know what they say, good things come to those who wait. Now, where do I even start with this car? Because there's so much to it. I think the best place to start is under the bonnet. So, this engine is a real peach. In fact, it has won Engine of the Year 9 years in a row. 9! Incredible stuff. Let's open up the bonnet, nice and easy. So guys, what you are looking at is the iconic, the legendary 2.5 litre 5-cylinder turbocharged petrol. It offers 400 horsepower, which okay is the same as the last RS3, but this has more torque. This has 500 newton meters, which is 20 more compared to its predecessor. If you prefer that in pound-feet, I will of course drop a subtitle below. As you can imagine, power is fed to all four wheels via Audi's iconic quattro system, and this has a 7-speed S Tronic gearbox. In regard to performance, well, it is pretty potent. This will smash 62 miles per hour in, get this, 3.8 seconds. 3.8 in a hatchback. That is simply incredible. Great stuff. In regard to the top speed, this would normally have a limited top speed of 155, but the car you see before you is the launch edition, therefore the top speed is actually 174. You can, however, have the optional dynamic pack, which will give you carbon, I can never say ceramic. It will give you ceramic brakes on the front axle, and the top speed also is increased to 180 miles per hour. So yeah, so if you want even more power, it is available. The dynamic pack also offers a few other bits and bobs as well, such as a sport exhaust and so forth. In regards to fuel economy, which I'm sure many of you aren't too interested in, on a combined run you're looking at about 31 mpg, and CO2 emissions are a little over 200 grams per kilometre. Now yes, as I mentioned, this is the launch edition. It isn't cheap. Now bear in mind, the base model RS3 is far from cheap. That has a starting price of around £54,500. How much do you think this car is? And before you ask, there are no options apart from the glacier white paintwork. That's £575. So yes, how much do you think this car right in front of you will cost you? Well, it is almost £60,500. Yes, you heard that right. I do hope you were sat down for that. So yes, that is quite a lot of money, but you do get a fair amount of car. Of course, you get that barnstorming performance from that lovely 5-pot engine, and you do get a very well sorted car. Now, in regards to what you get as part of the launch edition, you get the nice glossy black detailing, which contrasts the glacier white paintwork very nicely. You get these kind of matte satin black 19-inch alloys, which look fantastic. Massive red calipers on the front as well. Tinted rear windows, keyless entry. I do also have a power tailgate. Oh, it is a bit windy, so if the audio is a bit compromised, I do apologise. So yes, the boot isn't the largest. I may as well talk about it whilst I'm here. You get the storage pack as well as part of the specification. The boot only offers 282 litres. Now, of course, the boot is filled with my filming crap, but I will cut to a clip where you can get a better view of the capacity of the boot. Now, you can, of course, fold down the 40-20-40 rear seats to give you a little over 1,000 litres. In fact, that is 1,104. So yes, the boot isn't the biggest, but as you can see, you can still fit in a few bags. But if you wanted to have a weekend away, you may struggle a little bit. But anyway, let's close that down. I've also got the sport exhaust as standard, which sounds pretty fruity, but there is a downside. With this being a brand new car, it is fitted with a petrol particulate filter to help with emissions, which is good because it means that cars like this can still exist in the modern world, and hopefully it will keep Greta a bit happier. But the noise, the 5-pot has lost some of its character, some of its kind of a thunderous sound. But hey, it is a sacrifice that us petrol heads have to pay to in order to have these cars being produced until the foreseeable future. Right, let me step inside the car because it is quite cold. I've got Napa leather seats, the front of which are heated, and they are very comfortable. I've covered a lot of miles in this car. In fact, I think I've covered almost 600 miles, and I've only had this for a few days. So yes, I have done a bit of long distance travelling in this. Yeah, heated front seats. You do have electronically adjustable front seats, but there's no memory function, which I do find a bit disappointing, particularly when you bear in mind this car is over £60,000. By the way, the launch edition is just below the range-topping Vorsprung, but this is a limited edition. From memory, only 96 were made for the UK market, so there's a good chance you can't buy one of these now. You can get them on Auto Trader, but some of them are pushing 70 grand, which is insane. That is insane. You'd have to be stark raving mad to pay that, in my opinion. But I'm sure some people will. I've got a wireless phone charging pad, dual zone climate control, actually, I'll tell you what, let me turn on the ignition. A 10.1 inch touchscreen with navigation, Bluetooth, DAB radios, smartphone connectivity, etc. I've got the wonderful Audi virtual cockpit, which is 12.3 inches. Got the drive select as well, so let's get rid of that. So if I hit the drive select, why is it not doing anything? Let's get rid of that. There we go. So I've got efficiency, comfort, auto and dynamic, but you may have spotted on the right hand side I've got some other ones. So I've got RS individual, which pretty much dials everything up to 11, but you can fine tune the suspension. And you've got RS Performance, which Audi states has been designed to give the optimal suspension settings for uneven roads such as the Nürburgring. And you've also got Torque Rear. Now, as you can see, that isn't for public roads. To put it simply, in a kind of roundabout way, that means this car has got a drift mode, so it can send all of the torque to the outside rear wheel to allow you to have a controlled drift, and it's also there to minimise understeer as well, because as we all know, sporty Audis of old have been known for having understeer. So yes, hopefully that will rectify it, but like I say, you can't use it on public roads. You do also have a dedicated RS button on the steering wheel as well, just there. Actually, I'll tell you what, let me close that door. So it is quite cold today. Other features, I've got the Bang & Olufsen sound system as part of the Comfort and Sound pack. And this sound system is really good. I've had a Bang & Olufsen in a few cars, but I don't know, in this car it just sounds a bit better. Maybe someone before me has played about with the settings, because it sounds awesome. The bass is just amazing. I do also have, let me turn the car on. Actually, no, I don't want to turn the car on because I want to do a cold start later. I do also have a reversing camera, but I don't want to turn on the engine because I want to film a cold start later for my main review, and I may even pop the footage in this video so you get to hear the 5-pot in all of its wondrous glory. Albeit with a petrol particulate filter. Yes, as I mentioned, I've got the dual zone climate control, and what I love is that you've got proper physical buttons. which in this day and age is is becoming a rarity, which is a pity. Let's just turn it off. There we go. Because yeah, it's just so much easier to use whilst on the move. I do have park assist as well, very handy, and front and rear parking sensors, as well as a reversing camera. Very handy indeed. Let's speak about the more boring things, such as practicality. The door bins are of a good size. I can fit in a I can fit in a 1 litre bottle like so. In fact, let me take you off my little tripod because it's getting in the way. That's what it looks like. Just getting in the way a bit. I know. Turn it off, otherwise it will just moan. Yeah, the door bins are of a good size. That is a 1 litre bottle, and there is a bit of space left over for a few snacks. Very handy indeed. You do also have this compartment here, which I must admit, I've just realised, it just caught my eye. So you can pop a few smaller items in there. That's also quite handy. The wireless phone charging pad that I mentioned in the middle, as well as 2 USB ports, both of which are Type-C. More cars are using that because it's more future-proof. 2 cup holders in the middle, as well as a little slot where perhaps you can pop the key. Quite handy indeed. There we go. And you've got a centre armrest, which is adjustable like so, which has been a godsend for the longer journeys I've done. Lift it up and you can see you've got a little bit of storage underneath as well. Last but not least, you do get a glove box, which has a fair size. I've got some paperwork and some sweets and a few other bits and bobs in there. So yes, I've got no complaints with that. And of course, it's just lined with fabric. Oh, luxury. Very plush. So yes, the inside is a good place to be. It's not exactly full of character, but it's smart, premium. Everything feels quite well made. Okay, that's a bit scratchy down there, which is a tad disappointing for a car of this price. But let's face it, you're not going to be driving around groping the kind of center console, are you? So yeah, not really too much of a complaint. You've got this nice effect on the dash as well. I quite like that. And of course, you've got the Quattro logo to remind you that you've got the assurance of all-wheel drive. Very nice. Getting a good driving setup is very easy. As I've mentioned, the driver's seat is electronically adjustable, and as you would expect, the steering wheel has got plenty of adjustment. Although I would prefer to have a flat bottom steering wheel, but that's me being picky. There we go. So let's go into the rear now. Pop that in park so it stops moaning at me. Oh, forgot to mention you get a 12-volt socket just there. Now, as always, the driver's seat has been set for me. I'm 6'2", so I am, of course, a taller chap. Even so, the space in the back isn't too bad, but just bear in mind, if you go for the saloon version of this car, which I think is about £1,000 extra, 1,500. I may need to correct myself with the subtitle. Bear in mind that you will get less headroom. Now, I've got a decent amount of knee room, as well as a good amount of leg room as well, and I can fit my feet underneath the seat in front of me. This is set to its lowest. In regards to headroom in the Sportback, the hatchback, for my height, it's pretty good. I've got a little bit left over, so if you're 6'3", or 6'4", you may struggle a little bit in the back of this car, so do bear that in mind. The middle seat wouldn't be the best place if you are a taller person, because I struggle to fit, and like I say, I'm 6'2", so I'm quite tall. You've also got quite a thick transmission tunnel running down the middle of the car, so you have to straddle that. Oh, but if you sit in the middle, you are sat higher up. Therefore, all of a sudden, my hair is rubbing on the roof lining. So yes, the middle. To be fair, this car is best served for 4 adults, not 5 adults. That would be too much of a squeeze. Anyway, on to practicality. The door bins are of a decent size. I've got my bottle there, which I can quickly grab, sling it in there like so. That fits in with no complaints. We've got map pockets. Just pop that back. We've got ventilation controls in the middle, as well as 2 more USB ports. Once more, they are Type C. Ugh. I'm not as flexible as I used to be. Who am I kidding? I've never been flexible. You've got a centre armrest for added comfort, and as you can see, you've got 2 cup holders in there as well. You don't get a ski chute, but these rear seats are, as I've mentioned, these rear seats are 40, 20, 40, so this whole seat can come down if you want to load longer items such as bits of wood or skis and etc. And of course, it goes without saying, but this car does have ISOFIX, so you can bring the whole family along for a nice little hoon down a B road. Let's give you another shot of the dashboard. Very nice indeed. Another feature you get as standard is the panoramic roof, which is very nice, particularly as you do have dark roof lining, so it does make the inside feel a bit dingy. But actually, on the topic of that, although I wouldn't say I'm blessed with loads of space in the back, I don't actually feel cramped, even though you do have dark roof lining. The windows are of a fairly decent size. There is enough natural light coming in. Just to give you an idea of what it would be like with the blind closed for the panoramic roof, even with that closed, it's not as dingy in here as I would have expected. So that is good. Let's just open that back up. Let's the natural light back into the cabin. Anything else to discuss in the rear? No, I don't think so. Of course, I've spoken about the boot already, so that's pretty good. I do really like these door handles, by the way. I just think they just look really smart. Just little touches like that, just think look really, really stylish. What a good looking car this is. As I mentioned, you can have this as a saloon as well. I would argue the saloon does actually look better. As much as I love a hot hatch, I think if I had the money, and let's face it, I haven't, believe me guys, I don't make that much money from YouTube. If I did have the money to buy an RS3, dare I say I would go for the saloon. Tricky one. These are the Matrix LED lights, and they do have quite a funky light signature to them. In fact, let me see if I can show you. Just dig out the key. Nah, it's not going to do it. Oh, hang on. Yep, there we go. See that? Comes up with the RS3. Now, some of you may think that's very gimmicky, but you know what? The little kid in me really enjoys that. So, will it do it again? That's really cool. And I kind of missed it because my camera work was a bit shoddy, but you do get a little light signature on the top as well. So, yeah, I do find that kind of thing very pleasing. But you guys, any questions you have about the car, please do get in touch and I will answer them as quickly as I can and to the best of my ability. There will of course be a review coming, as well as a point of view drive and maybe 1 or 2 other supplementary videos as well. So yes, there will be a fair amount of content coming with this car, because hey, it'd be rude not to. But I think it is time for me to finish, guys. Yeah, if there's anything I've missed off, anything you'd like to know, then yes, please do get in touch. Sun's come out now, it's lovely. So yes, thank you so much for watching this video. I do hope you have enjoyed it. If so, be sure to like, comment and subscribe. If you are subscribed, don't forget to click the bell icon so you get notified every time I make a video. But until the next time guys, be sure to keep up the car obsession.